have such a unique way of supporting local and international artists through like your business, your arts, your talents. Can you elaborate on how you guys support those talents through your business?
Do you want me to start? Go ahead. Yeah. Well, I don't do much with international artists. It's just because I can't really afford them. But yeah, let's just stick with local artists. As I said earlier, I've been heavily involved purely in the music business, from being on the radio for so many years, DJing, having my own kind of creative freedom with the company to do anything I can possibly can to kind of nourish this industry here in the UAE, but also being part of talent events, stuff like this, for example, which helps artists to kind of, to not just grow, but it's some sort of like an eye opener for them to kind of discover new opportunities and get them thinking, and, share with them some ideas on how they can, take their business from step 1 to step 3 or step 10. But, I've been pushing a lot of music from the UAE on the radio, although I've been told not to for so many years. It's just because, radio is very commercial here in the UAE, unfortunately, and whenever they hear the word local artists, it's a bit scary for them. They kind of take a step back and go like, oh, I don't know if we have any good music from local artists, especially from a head of a station who has just come from outside, from like the UK or the US, because they always, whenever any artist comes up to me and go like, oh, can you play my music on the radio? I was like, you have to think about it. You're competing with the likes of Rihanna. You're competing with the likes of, David Guetta, with Justin Bieber. So that's why if your music is not up there, is not up to that standard, it's really hard for me to convince the head of the station to add your music to the playlist. And it's not as easy as it sounds like, where I can just go like, oh, hey, let me add your song on the radio and just play it. It's there's a very complicated process behind it on what gets added into our recurrent playlist. But I've just recently launched. This is probably one of the proudest things in my career. I'm a firm believer in local artistry here in the UAE, especially when it comes to music, because I consider myself as a musician, from being on the radio, being a DJ, producing my own music. But I've just recently started a platform called Homegrown, which is a platform for local artists. As I said, we do it on a monthly basis in Abu Dhabi. I've just recently launched it in November. And we have a group of very talented artists from across the UAE. And when I say artists, I'm not necessarily talking about music artists. It could be anything. It could be visual artists. It could be production artists, as in photographers, videographers, comedians, whatever. So I bring a pool of really incredible talents from the UAE, put them in one venue, and it's more of not just shedding a light on these artists, but actually connecting with all the different artists from the UAE and sharing ideas and really exchange numbers and explore different opportunities, collaborations, features, whatever it may be. So I'm really proud of this, and we've just started a couple of months ago. We started really small, but hopefully the plan is to grow and push boundaries and break fences, and hopefully do something for the music scene here in the UAE.
Super nice. Well, congrats. It's a beautiful service that you're offering to everyone. I think so many people are in need of such a service, or like are really, they really want something like this out there, and you created it. So wonderful. Congrats. So what are the services that you guys provide? How do you support talents?
For over 8 years, as I said earlier, we've been providing a platform for a lot of African artists to come showcase their artistry here in Dubai and the UAE. We've done 1 or 2 things in Abu Dhabi as well. For us, Kiza has been the first place that a lot of these artists have had the opportunity to do international gigs. So they're so happy that you get paid for it, and at the same time you can showcase your talent to a very sophisticated place like Dubai, where they say they have over 200 nationalities here. So it's a single, one-spot place where if people see you here, they can take it to their other countries, and you get much more popular than just being a local star. We've been doing this for over 8 years now.
And do you do that on like a regular basis? Like, do you get artists, like for example, to perform at at Kiza and showcase their talents?
Yes, when we first started about 8 years ago, like on a monthly basis, we used to bring artists. We kind of slowed down on that because we brought everybody. And
You ran, you ran out
no,
of people.
we didn't want to start to recycle.
Yeah.
What is happening now is that the other places are now tapping into the Afrobeat scene and
True.
bringing the same artist. Yeah, so when they come to these different acts, they also end up at home with the Skiza to come have a good time.
All right,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. Yeah, you want to, Shelley?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us more about the fridge.
We have a few platforms that are really dedicated to supporting artists. First of all, I think what's unusual about the fridge and notable is that we're a multi-genre. So from jazz to sometimes classical, but then through everything, be it urban,
Yeah.
R&B, up-and-coming indie bands. And we like doing things in series. We like doing things in series a lot. So our concert series has lasted for, is coming up to its almost 12-year mark of
Wow.
programming concerts for independent artists. Those concerts are an incredible platform because we provide our venue plus state-of-the-art sound equipment, market the concert for the artist. So it's a wonderful way that they can get to showcase their new material as well as album launches. We've done nearly 40 album launches to date.
Amazing.
For locally based artists. That platform also features regional artists under another programming head called The Fringe. So we typically do around 20 to 25 concerts per year under those various platforms. Another way that I touched on earlier that is exciting is that as we see an artist coming up through the ranks, one is able to take someone from singer-songwriter to seeing the material develop, hooking them in then with a band, giving them a live opportunity, and from that, seeing how the artist develops, being able to place them on something like Mother of the Nation or one of the many festival platforms, be it Sika or wherever else. And then, you know, as you say, Kiza, from there you get noticed and things build.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
so
often in places like this, places like what you guys offer, that they're exposed, like the talents are exposed to people, to, you know, opportunities, connections, networking. It's always places like that. Amazing.